You know, in the New York City hustle, that first impression is literally everything. And more often than not, that whole impression gets boiled down to a tiny piece of cardstock. Yep, the business card. It's so much more than just your name and number, it's your entire brand sitting in the palm of someone's hand. But what does it actually cost to get it right in a place like NYC? Okay, let's get into it. I mean, this is the question, right? Every single professional in this city has asked themselves this. You want something that pops, that feels premium, but you're also not trying to spend your entire marketing budget on it. So, what's the real number? Well, you might want to brace yourself, because the answer is complicated. And there you have it. You could be paying 20 bucks for a stack or over $500. That is a huge range. It's obviously not a simple one-size-fits-all kind of deal, which tells you there are a whole lot of moving parts behind that final price. So yeah, that brings us right to the heart of what we're talking about today, the NYC printing puzzle. How can one person pay $20 while the person next to them is paying 25 times that amount? Let's solve this thing. We're going to pull back the curtain and see what's actually going on. Okay, so here's the most important thing to get right off the bat. Printing business cards is not like buying a cup of coffee. There's no set menu price, the cost is a moving target, and it's almost completely shaped by the little choices you make when you order. Every single decision has a price tag. So to really get a handle on that number on your final invoice, we have to do a little bit of an autopsy, We're going to break down the anatomy of that price tag and really look at all the individual pieces that build up to the total cost. All right, let's just get straight to the point. What are the big things, the main levers that can send the price soaring or keep it down to earth? Well, it turns out there are about 5 core factors that pretty much every print shop is looking at. And here they are, the big 5. First up, quantity. And you'll see in a minute, ordering more can actually make things cheaper per card. Then there's material. Are we talking flimsy paper or that nice, thick, impressive cardstock? Next, the printing method. The tech they use makes a huge difference in cost. Then the fun stuff, finishing options. This is where you get the wow factor, with foil, raised lettering, all that jazz. And finally, design complexity. A simple, clean layout is going to be way cheaper to set up than something with tons of colors and intricate graphics. Each one of these is a knob you can turn on the final price. Now, this is a super important concept in printing. It's called economies of scale. It feels a little weird, right? But spending more upfront on a bigger order actually saves you a ton of money on each individual card. Just think about it. The printer has to set up the machines, whether they're printing 100 cards or 1,000. Spreading that setup cost over 1,000 cards makes the price for each one just plummet. But let's be real, we're talking about New York City. And that means there's a whole other layer of costs involved. There's a reason a sandwich costs more here. And business cards are absolutely no exception. So let's talk about the Big Apple Premium. It really just comes down to 3 main things. First, the obvious one. It is wildly expensive to run a business here. The sky-high rent and labor costs, yeah, those get baked right into the price of your cards. Second, come on, it's New York. The standards are incredibly high, so there's a huge demand for those premium, top-of-the-line services. And third, speed. Everyone in this city needs everything like yesterday. That constant demand for rush jobs, it definitely pushes prices up. And this chart just lays it all out perfectly. Let's talk real numbers for a standard order of 1,000 cards. A basic, standard matte card will run you somewhere between 75 and 120 bucks. Want to add a simple glossy finish? Bam, the price jumps. If you go for a thicker, more substantial cardstock, you could be looking at $200. And once you step into that premium zone, with foil stamping or embossed logos, the price can just blow right past $350. Easy. Okay, so we get it. Things can get expensive. But the question is, how do you navigate all this to get the absolute best value for your money? It's not just about finding the cheapest option, it's about printing smarter. Okay, one of your biggest strategic moves is choosing between digital and offset printing. Let's break it down. Digital printing is kind of like a super fancy, high-quality office printer. It's perfect and really cost-effective if you just need a small batch of cards and you need them fast. Offset printing, on the other hand, is the big leagues. It uses these custom metal plates. So the setup cost is higher, but if you're ordering 1,000 cards or more, the price per card drops like a rock, making it way, way cheaper in the long run. And hey, don't just take my word for it. This is a seriously powerful stat to keep in your back pocket. By just planning ahead and placing one large order, you could slash your per card cost by up to 60%. That is a massive saving compared to ordering little batches here and there. So let's put that 60% into perspective. When you order in bulk with a standard design, the cost for one single card can drop to as low as 5 cents. 5 cents for a professional networking tool that could land you your next huge client. I mean, that is just incredible value. But, and this is a big but, here's where you gotta be careful. This chart shows what I call cost creep. Your basic printing cost might only be about 60% of the final bill, but then you decide to add some premium paper and, ooh, some shiny foil stamping, and then you realize you need them tomorrow. Well, suddenly your bill is almost double what you thought it was gonna be. So this all leads us to the biggest question of all. We've talked a lot about cost, but what about the actual value? Is it really worth it to spend that extra money on a premium card? Let's dig into how that investment actually pays off for your brand. You know, it's the classic dilemma, isn't it? Budget versus brand. Sure, a basic card gets the job done. It has your name and number. But does a card with, say, a soft touch finish or a cool embossed logo actually give you a real return on that extra cash you're spending? Well, the answer, especially if you're in an industry like finance or real estate, is a huge resounding yes. A high-quality card does so much more than share info. It creates this memorable tactile experience. It makes your brand stick in someone's head. And it communicates, without saying a single word, that you are serious about quality. And let's not forget the cost of time, or really the cost of impatience. This chart shows what I like to call the I need it now tax. A standard order, that's your baseline price. Need it tomorrow? You can expect to pay about 25% more. Need it by 5 o'clock today? That could easily be a 50% markup. Seriously, planning ahead is the best budget-saving tool you have. So, what's the bottom line here? It's that there is no single right price for a business card. The real goal is to find that perfect sweet spot. It's all about making smart, informed choices that balance the powerful statement your brand needs to make with the actual real-world budget you have to work with. And that's really what I want to leave you with. Your business card is out there in the world, representing you long after you've left the room. So after all of this, the only question that truly matters is this one. What message do you want yours to send?